Madeira is changing. So we live here half the year. We've been coming at least 15 years. Well, we've seen some huge changes in the last couple of years and hope to go through some of those. This is one of them, by the way. Savoy Monumentalis. Not only is the building finished and it's inhabited, but some of the restaurants here are also starting to fill up. So it's taken a little while, but with that Italian just behind there, we had a meal the other night. That was really nice. Sushi Empire is opening today. 29 euros, all you can eat sushi. Very friendly, we just went in there earlier. So look, this is once again been voted the top trending destination for 2026 this time. So I thought it'd be good to talk about what is changing here and what it'll be like coming here as a tourist, coming here if you're thinking of retiring, and then just some personal things that we've discovered over the last year and we've encountered, and I think it's going to be really interesting. First of all though, let me just say this is still a beautiful island and it's a great place to come. So if you're coming here as a tourist, because of well, it's just hugely popular now. I mean, it's everywhere, isn't it? And so prices are rising. All the hotel prices are rising year on year. Food prices are rising, and that's happening for everybody, of course, too, people that live here. Buses, though, buses are getting a bit easier to use. Some of the companies have amalgamated under Siga. They still don't have a shared bus pass yet. Some things go a little slower here, a bit more manana. But that's definitely working well. The buses are new, especially if you use the Red OS ones. And so yeah, a lot more comfortable. It's really nice. Hikes, again, because of the immense popularity of hiking here, now you're going to have to book online. You have to book in advance and pay. You have to pay online. And then you've got a 30-minute window in which you can turn up and start your walk. And this really is, again, because if you've seen any other videos, or maybe you've come out here and you've tried to get onto one of the most picturesque walks, thinking you have it to yourself, and it's just absolutely rammed. There's a lot of damage happening, especially to some of the real pristine forests here, like Funchal. Another thing you're going to notice is just how busy it is. And again, because it has been increasing in popularity year on year, so it's a lot busier. So for instance, in 2022, there was just 39 car hire companies on the island. Here, starting 2026, there's 220. So that gives you an idea of just how much more traffic there is here. And you notice that, then locals notice that coming into Funchal, especially from the airport. That road gets very, very busy. Well, those are some of the things you'll notice, anyway, coming here as a tourist. Anyway, look, if you're coming here then, and you're thinking of retiring, because we've featured a few videos about what it's like to retire here or just come and live here, what you're going to find, well, probably one of the obvious things is the prices of property. So just in the last year alone, property on the island rose by 25.5%, which is pretty mad, isn't it, really? 25.5%. In fact, there's one area on the north of the island, São Vicente, prices rose in 1 year by 46%. And that's probably because, I mean, the north of the island is generally less popular because it's wetter, it's a bit colder. I guess people have been pushed out because Funchal is pretty much full. And so, yes, people have probably moved out that way. And you compare that to Lisbon. So Lisbon, prices are high in Lisbon and they're rising, but they're only going up by 5% per year. Pretty crazy difference, isn't it? And what does that mean? It means a couple of things. First of all, there's very little to buy, especially if you're looking in Funchal. You might need to go further afield. Partly also because local people, instead of putting their property on the market, they're just turning things into Airbnbs. And you can't blame them. You know, so it's a way to make a living. It does mean though that there's very little affordable property for the local people to live in, and of course there's very little coming on the market. The big properties that have been built was cater for some of the Americans that were coming over. A lot of those have stagnated. They're sitting idle, so the top end of the market is stagnant at the moment. Why is that? You might think, well, the very easy golden visa program which used to exist, that's changed. The main provision which basically allowed you to come and become a resident here if you just bought a property over a certain price, well, that's now gone. So that's the most favourable thing. Also the NHR scheme, which basically would allow you for the first 10 years to pay just sort of 10% tax on your pensions and anything else you were bringing over, was incredibly good, pretty good value considering taxes here are often sort of 48%. That's finished. So of course suddenly all the people that were coming over, those programs were aimed at, aren't coming anymore. And obviously there's got to be a good thing for the local people. I mean, it's obviously been very difficult for them. Probably seen that as quite an unfair tax incentive. But of course that was to bring people here when the country was really struggling. I mean, especially through COVID, there was, you know, thought tourism was going to die here. It's understandable. What about renting here? Well, if you're coming here to rent, rents have pretty much doubled in the last couple of years. So what you would have got for $500 or $600 a month, you're now looking at sort of $1,100, $1,200. In fact, I would say in Funchal area, if this is where you wanted to be, you would be quite lucky to get somewhere for 1,200 euros a month. And that probably be, it might be a T1, so a 1-bedroom property. You might be wondering, well, how do the local Madeirans fare with that then? Well, I mean, on one hand, the good thing is that the minimum wage has been rising the last couple of years, 7% a year, trying to keep pace with the change. This year it's going up to 980 euros. But when you think of it, you can't even just get accommodation. A 1-bedroom flat or apartment here in Funchal for less than 1,200. So you can see it's pretty difficult for local people. On a personal note then, a few things that we've noticed and come across this year. Well, the main thing is, you know what, in spite of all the time we keep coming here, in spite of all the traffic and the number of tourists, we still love it. It's still a beautiful island. And some people say, well, have we noticed anything to do with Chega, which is the sort of right-wing party, sort of rising a little bit on the mainland? And to be honest, we haven't noticed any unpleasantness. People are still polite, friendly, generous. Portuguese people are maybe a little bit like the British, you know, quite sort of quiet and reserved, but when you get a chance to really talk and open up, they're just fantastic people. So yeah, so maybe we've been lucky, but we've experienced nothing untoward, nothing uncomfortable at all. What I have noticed is cockroaches. Are you a fan of cockroaches? Not many people are, strangely. Just getting past the copyright music. Yeah, so in general, you're going to see them mainly in summer months, and that's because, you know, it's a tropical island, and cockroaches don't mean something's dirty, not at all. You know, they're endemic to most tropical places. We've seen them in the top 5-star hotels, we've seen them in top restaurants, You will see them now and again, and you'll see them sculling around at night. On the whole, they keep to themselves. We only, the first time, had one in our apartment, and our apartment, when we renovated it, made it absolutely cockroach proof. Even then, not too bad. We helped him on his way out over the balcony. But yeah, you might see them. What else? A few of our friends have left the island or are leaving the island, and some of that then is due to costs. As I said, so rising costs. People have moved here several years ago because it was affordable. They could retire here, and now some of those people are having to leave the island because, well, first of all, say you rent. If they're renting, they're relying on their landlords, landladies' generosity not to put the rents up, because basically if they were to leave they could probably double the rent they're getting from their apartments, and for some people that is going to happen. So friends of ours are looking to look on the mainland, again not wanting to leave the island, but that's just the rise of popularity here. We've got friends too who have sold their property here, moved to the mainland. One of the reasons is, again, price, realising that you can get so much more on the mainland. You can get a garden, a garage, you can be out in nature. And also a few people who are YouTubers realising too that Madeira is a fantastic place to be. But overall, if you're running a channel, then you're quite limited in terms of how much there is to film, etc. So yeah, in terms of subject matter, so we got friends who are moving out to, say, Thailand, because then that opens up Taiwan and China, obviously Thailand, Cambodia, all those other places. And again, we got friends who just moved to Europe, and again that opens up the whole mainland for them really to explore. But for ourselves, we still love it here. We want to stay here. Prices though, we did want to try and get somewhere a little bigger to live, and again just the sheer unavailability of property at the minute is forcing us to have a little look on the mainland. What would be lovely is if we could have something here and then also have a little something on the mainland and move between the two. Now, wouldn't that be nice? Absolutely, it'd be lovely. So that's our plan. Who knows, we'll see what happens. But expect to see some videos from mainland Portugal this year. We're going to check out a bit of the Algarve. It's probably not going to be our favourite. Along the Silver Coast, maybe Aveiro, Porto, Setúbal, a few places like Coimbra perhaps. We'll see what takes our fancy, and hope you join us along the way. Learn a little bit more about the wonderful country that is Portugal and the wonderful people that are the Portuguese. But until then, thanks for staying with us. Hope to see you soon. Take care.